Hi, Belvin Olsov here, fan-favorite host. The other folks that make the pod, I call them my interns because that's really the dynamic, have meekly requested to release an old episode where I wasn't featured. Can you believe that? But they said it's a great episode with a lot of juicy licensing opportunities, so if you're listening, Disney, I think I can get a movie trilogy out of this thing. Call me.
So, welcome guys to now I feel like I haven't started it off correctly because you guys, spoiler, you guys cut out right in the middle of Chessman's story, so I didn't hear any of it.
Story of our lives.
Yeah, for some background listeners, Walter does live off the grid. He lives deep in the what's that big mountain range that runs?
Oh, you're talking the Smokies.
Oh, well, yeah, the Smokies. Actually, are you?
The Smokies are the mountain range I vibe the most with, I would say.
Yeah, he plays banjo music for Appalachian folk for a crumb of Wi-Fi so that he can record off us.
I do play that banjo music. I do that, yes. And you might as well, you good folks, if you're headed over to town, you might as well check out my second podcast, Banjo with Walt, where I thrum some strings and talk about my beliefs about the state of Israel.
That's, actually, that's on
my takes on that.
Isn't that in NPR, actually? That sounds really similar to us.
It is,
NPR
actually.
Yeah.
I kind of got the Garrison Keillor sweet spot after he touched all those women.
Wait a minute. Now, I thought I heard you on Sirius X. Are you three-timing us?
I'm multi-platforming, That's all I can say.
Wow.
Listeners, welcome to 30-Minute Worlds, the podcast where three losers, and sometimes four, create astounding fantasy worlds to amaze and delight you with three incoherent prompts.
Allegedly.
What they're allegedly prompts?
We're allegedly creating worlds.
I'm actually not allegedly incoherent. I'm verified incoherent.
I choose to believe that all the worlds we create already actually exist in some multiverse thread.
That's cool. That's good.
So, technically,
I'm interested in your religion.
It's not a religion. It's just basic science. Well, that's just science.
Okay. I can't disprove it, so I guess it must be true.
You definitely can't, yeah. We've got a real doozy of a world for you guys here today. And by that, I mean, I actually bullshit that because we don't know what the world's actually going to be. Do we, gentlemen?
We haven't got a single clue.
I actually have. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah? You want to throw out the first prompt then?
I got a nice prompt. I don't know if I want to waste it today. I'm feeling kind of under the weather, but sometimes.
Oh, it struck me our last episode. It hit me later. I was like, why did we set it in the past when we could have done post-apocalyptic?
Oh, yeah.
Mongolia. Mm-hmm. Like
strange.
Mad Max Mongolia. Why did we bring
cars?
No one
could conceive of this. There's not a single human being that could put cars in the apocalypse. That would never happen.
Why did we jump to Mongolia? But and maybe I was the one that jumped to that. I don't know, but
because
you were the one that gave car radio.
Yeah.
Okay, but that turned out to be the best prompt in that setting.
That's debatable, but all right. If you got one, throw it at us, Cheese Man.
Yeah, Cheese Man.
Well, now since you just mentioned all that stuff that happened, and I'm remembering now that we did all that, I'm kind of, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Just gonna do it. Truckin.
Well, here we go.
It's Truckin. This one's Truckin.
Truckin. Okay.
There's an untapped wealth of potential.
If you motherfuckers say big and crab, I'm going to leave this podcast.
I thought we could do car lesbians, but it's trucks instead, and it's better. But if you're crossing off lesbians and crabs, which is just unconscionably cruel of you to do to me,
both
in a trucking context.
Well, sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, and Big Crab Truckin' it's like its own thing, Like how you can't really break into the Big Crab Truckin' market because it's cornered.
Dan can't really break into the prompt sand market because you're spouting all this shit.
Yeah.
I don't hear you saying any kind of prompt, but my prompt word is king.
Okay.
King.
King.
Oh, yeah. Singular.
Okay.
Absolute.
Okay. My prompt word is soil. The loam. The earth.
Well, okay.
All right.
Yeah. So we have truck, soil, and crab. I mean, king. I think King Crab is involved in that.
King Crab.
King lesbian crab
delicious.
On a truck.
No one said lesbian. We're not. No, this is not. I have nothing against lesbians, but I have something against
all crabs
us
are lesbians.
doing an entire episode about crab
there
lesbians.
There are only 3 of us. I am rolling a 3-sided die, which does exist. Only I have a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
To determine which of us is the lore lad and has creative control over disputes, I have rolled a 2, which means that it is Daniel's turn to lore lad us into the future.
God save us, everyone. I mean, I think the trick here, right, is to not veer too close to last week's episode, right?
Okay.
So that we can stay certified, fresh.
Right. So instead of going into the past, you want to go into the future,
The critics
right?
panned our last episode. I remember that.
Yeah.
All the reviews came in.
Well, they had to pan it because we buried it. They couldn't find it.
So how do we... Yeah, Dan, go on.
So, sky truckers,
Whoa.
under the command of an all-powerful monarch, bring Earth from isolated outpost of humanity to isolated outpost of humanity and an endless sea of clouds.
Okay.
Where does the dirt
Clouds,
come
but
from?
no soil.
Here's the thing.
You need the dirt.
Here's the thing. If you're taking if you're going to some place that's not habitable, someplace that hasn't been what's the word? Terraformed?
Yeah, that would be the word. Yeah.
One
big terraforming king truckers.
Yeah. You got to bring soil with you, in some capacity. I mean, like
a lot of it.
Yeah.
In trucks.
Yeah.
They're hauling soil to the sky palace of the king.
Now, you said clouds.
To get that Yeah.
You said in the clouds. Did. Is that it? What is that? Define clouds.
I mean, kind of like well, there's 2 ways to do it. I think maybe there's 3 ways. There's actually out and out fucking space truckers, which is just spaceships. It's not really trucking.
It's actually what that is.
Yeah, you gotta have trucking.
It's Firefly is what you're describing. That's what that is.
Did they ever haul soil in Firefly?
No.
They haul rations. But
I don't remember what they haul in Firefly.
They haul people. They haul illegal rations. And I think they've hauled, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember anything else.
Well, they only really haul stuff for an episode before it goes to shit.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I'm glad that show's off the air. Don't at me.
you are tampering with forces beyond your control.
I don't know. I watched it and I was like, man, this really blows compared to what I remembered, experiencing. Maybe I just liked it more in high school, but I watched it recently. Like, man, there's jack shit going on.
Yeah,
for what you can get on TV
in
now.
the back of the head.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing. About,
I don't know. It's like watching one of the Bela Lugosi Wolfman or Dracula movies compared to that's paved the way for now. Firefly is just boring.
Right.
You go back and watch Firefly, you're gonna get bored out of your ass.
I think I really need to stop you before you get firebombed. By if the fine people of the Firefly community, please do not commit violence against any of us. If you have to, it would be better if it were Walter, though.
Yeah, I think my least favorite thing about what they did when they brought Firefly to streaming services is they changed the order. It made so much more sense than the original aired order.
Again, we can't go off on this tangent. We have to get back to important things like a Sky King that commands trucks. What if? Okay, hang on. Wait. what if this Sky King is what the primitive truck driving natives would conceptualize as a king, but he's actually something that is far more like, we don't know what he is, because the trucks just heed his call.
It's okay.
So it's like a spiritual kind of thing.
It's a
like
machine spirit reaching out.
The trucks are the instrument of his will.
Well, how do trucks fly, first of all?
If they're primitive truck-using natives, it's probably magic, and I ain't got to explain shit.
Probably, yes. Probably.
That was also kind of off the cuff if we wanted to do something more grounded, which would be fine.
Wow.
But, like...
It doesn't sound grounded if you got a machine spirit.
We could definitely ground this.
Out there. You got...
Yeah, you do kind of get to have one or the other.
Truck King, also known as Truck God. You got Truck God here.
The king, as it were, is actually some sort of psychic intelligence. We don't know what it is. Trucks flying, that's unprecedented, and it's him wielding psychokinetic force somehow to move them to these previously unknown sky rigs that were constructed by a pre-apocalyptic civilization. We don't know really who put them there either.
See, the
drivers are like the arbiters of his will, kind of. You're being chosen by the king to enact his mission.
See, yeah.
Which
I like that. I like the the king is like exerting his will over all these things. I don't like that he is literally like willing all of the trucks into the sky. I think that's too much. They have to have some power, because otherwise, as soon as God turns away from you, as soon as this truck king turns away from you, then your rig just falls out of the sky. Like, that sucks. And I feel like it would happen a lot.
Probably. Go on.
What if something like, because you're chosen by the Sky King, you are yourself embedded with a little bit of that kind of divine spark?
Oh.
And maybe you can attract more of that divine spark.
Sort of an all-spark, you would say.
Stop. Cut it.
What'd I say?
Stop.
What?
4-letter word. Red. 8 sides.
Truck.
So, what you're saying is, did we settle on psychic intelligence? Are we nailed down on that?
I mean, psychic intelligence, kind of a divine, like, spiritual thing.
Sky makes this a lot harder, and it's not even a prompt.
Well, again,
the lore lad.
Well, the other thing I was thinking was it could be something like a sort of Jules Verne-esque, like, floating island sort of deal, if we wanted to do that.
That might be more conducive to trucks as they exist.
And it brings the soil into play, right? Because you have to bring usable, fertile soil from place to place to get crops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the soil of these floating islands is not fertile, blasted as they were by some unknown cataclysm.
Mm-hmm.
Some cataclysm that maybe could have created a psychic intelligence that can control truck.
Well,
I can stand on that.
Okay,
in that cart.
So how do the trucks get off the ground? How do they fly?
Oh, well, it's rockets, clearly. I mean, they're just... It's clearly... I mean, how do you... Like, do you want the coolest possible flying truck setting? Because...
Yeah, it is... It's just too cool not to do it.
Lore Lad is ruled.
Like,
I do like it.
It's like a... some sort of like in Spy Kids, the wheels just sort of rotate down and the hubcaps open.
Yes. Just give me that. And just inject it straight into my eyes.
Yeah, rockets just shoot down, straight down.
The wheels just turn around. They go down, and then you can fly on that.
The wheels on the truck go down and down. Yeah.
That's just math.
Yeah.
I hate to explain it to you, but that's math. That's all you're talking about there. Wheels on the truck go down, truck flies.
I can't explain
when
that.
You're right, you're right.
So this is a civilization on the ground. What if these islands that were ravaged by whatever this was, right? They presumably had a population living a la Final Fantasy above ground and below ground. or like on the planet versus on the floating ship, right?
Right.
Yeah, on these like chunks of rock and whatever.
Yeah. The guys on the chunks of rock are all dead now. We don't know why. But their ships started arriving below, essentially, granting humanity untold capacity to explore the skies.
Right.
That we had never thought possible.
Of the truck marked the advent of mankind's dreams.
Right. So you got, on the ground, you got Midgar, and on the sky, you got Bastion. Right. I'm following. Daniel
is actually pulling from Final Fantasy IV there.
What?
Technically. I was
that particular line. Yes.
Is that the one with the tree?
Anyway, they're all the one with the tree.
Oh.
So there's these truck ships come down from the sky, probably like sometime after the Cataclysm, not concurrently with it. Can we agree on that?
Sure.
Yeah, and during the Cataclysm is a different story, I think.
These trucks are inhabited by like a machine intelligence that can talk with the driver. That's the king, essentially, or he calls himself the king.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he talks to you on your truck radio.
Okay.
This is the king. You're clear to roll on over. You know, he's this big trucker type.
That's a Texas-sized 10-4, good buddy.
Yeah. Oh, quick.
The thoughts on this? What do y'all think?
I'm into it.
Yeah. So why what is in this world other than truckers who are moving Earth to settle these or to explore these lands in the sky?
Well, what do truckers want? What do truckers want?
They want big hats. They want coffee. They want stimulants.
They want our soil. They want it.
You're both being.
I thought they were bringing the soil.
Being very
We're
close-minded.
bringing it to them, right? The people up there, or whatever remains of them.
You're both being very stereotypical. Look, first of all, truckers are people, all right?
They want our soil.
Truckers want what everybody wants, right? They want 2.5 kids, white picket fence,
masters,
a master to control their will constantly.
The same master's degree. But
oh, all right.
Which is funnier.
I did think you were saying, like, you know, they want to compete in the Masters golf tournament. That's every American's dream.
Yeah. It's America's game.
What incentivizes the truckers?
Maybe
a world to explore.
Is there anyone left
new technology up there, a new frontier.
I like that. A new frontier.
Literally the new frontier. There was fire in the sky 100 or so years ago, and then all these fucking trucks came down, essentially.
Oh.
And maybe these machine spirits, like, they want to work with humanity.
They need us for some reason. Or whatever the king is, which it might be a machine spirit consciousness, it might be an advanced AI, it might be something akin to a real god, you know, who controls these things.
Instead of like the typical sort of, you know, portrayal of something like an artificial intelligence where they want to exploit us and kill us, they want to cooperate with us. They recognize that we can be useful.
Yes, ostensibly, yes. I think it could be cool if the king had some sort of ulterior motive. Keep in mind, we don't know how the original Sky Realm was destroyed, these floating islands.
Okay. I like there being some ambiguity there.
I think we should talk about, like, legends should talk about, like, fire in the sky that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, like ghost riders in the sky.
And then,
you would say,
you know,
something like that.
You can fuck right off.
Smoke on the.
You can fuck right off.
Smoke on the water.
Yeah. Okay.
This is different from the typical Chessman reference in that I actually do get these references, but they're still bad for some reason.
I'm trying to dumb down my content, so that I actually know what I'm referencing.
Yeah, there's a point we hit on crucially.
Right.
Well, we might not let you forget it if you do reference it and you don't know it.
Here's something I was. Let me just throw it out there. So the key. So you turn on a truck with a key, right? You sit down in the driver's seat. You turn the key. What if these trucks have these machine spirits that inhabit them, or they have a portion of the king's spirit, or what have you? But
yeah,
and maybe there's wild trucks. Maybe there's trucks that are entirely controlled by the king. But let's say you're players, right? You've got a group of 4 to 6 players in a white picket fence.
Yeah,
and
there's a dog.
Yeah, there's a dog. Oh man, and you're in about 50,000 a year, or whatever. So 60,000 combined because you're married, of course. And what if this key is like your connection to the truck?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Yeah.
The trucks have devices that you control them psychically, is what you're saying.
Right.
There is still a wheel, though.
Dude.
Well,
yeah, man.
It's,
I like
it's
this
sort of
shit.
like a soul bonding. So like in order to like.
It's Evangelion.
Yes. Well, actually, yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
No, it's Truckvangelion.
It's Truckvangelion.
That's fine.
So, okay. I just had a thought. The king wants our soil, ostensibly, so that we can live up there, right? Because we have an agrarian society at this point. But whatever it is up there actually wants our soil for is the rare earth minerals to synthesize more machines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you need that. You need that plutonium. You need that catalytic converter. Oh.
Exactly.
You need all that exotic rocket fuel that can fit in this truck somehow.
There's crackheads that go around sawing off catalytic converters from the bottom of these sentient trucks.
Oh my god.
The trucks are sentient, yes.
You go truck
but
tipping.
They all can be communicated through by the king. I think that's important. But
what if it's something like the king has to like he has to grant life, right? It's like kind of a piece of himself almost.
I like that a lot. And that means the machines have their own lore about the king that they can tell players.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh.
So each machine is a machine spirit. Okay.
So the key.
But there's like a.
So the key, it's sort of like you're stealing the connection from the king. Like the truck was connected to the king and now it's connected to you. Like you're.
I don't know. Why do the trucks need us at all? Obviously, to load the soil, probably, because we control it.
It's like directives come from the king, but they're kind of neutered without somebody providing that direction.
Here's what's funny. I don't think the trucks need humans at all.
Yeah.
They do to load the soil, but that's it. They kind of have created this reality where it's like, yeah, you can come up here and come settle, these islands, the lost lands that the king wants you to inherit. But he doesn't really want us up there. We're kind of like a side effect of his actual goal, which is obtaining rare earth minerals from our ground to do something with.
Well, I mean, I like that. I like the element of that ambiguous, exploitation. But I do think it would be nice if there was some sort of tie between the truck and, I guess, the pilot, if we're going with that kind of nomenclature. And because the word is trucker. The word isn't truck. What is a trucker if he can't drive his truck?
Well, yeah. So, yeah, in general, the trucks are like, with their enormous size and the fact that they can just run people down, are running these, some of them are closer to a sort of slave colony than others. And some of them are sort of white tie company affairs. But, if something bad happened, all the humans that are part of that are fucked. The trucks, none of those trucks are free. All of those trucks answer to the king. He doesn't directly control them. He gives them directives, but they're still loyal to him. But then as soon as you, the trucker, puts the, turns the key, you sever that connection to the king, and you are now, your will is joined to the truck. You're the truck's king.
You're the key that moves the truck,
that.
Is what you're saying.
I jive with that.
So you could conceivably, maybe you could
Okay.
It'd be weird to like go into like you could have multiple trucks because I think that's sort of muddying the.
I think you got to be in the seat.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a sign of like a bond. Like it would be a sign of some extremely special bond if you could actually get out of the seat and the truck stayed like disconnect, like the truck wasn't still yours. Like, because like you could get out of the seat and leave the truck running for a little bit, but you don't know, like it could flip off at any time and just reconnect to the king.
Exactly.
Okay. Are you able to take the key with you? What happens if you take it out?
Huh.
Because it also begs the question: is what if a truck just loses its key? Is it just dead in the water?
Oh yeah.
Kind of like the idea of they go rogue almost, or they go feral.
They have their own
almost.
personalities, yeah. And they don't really know what the king is. They know the king gave them life, right?
They're kind of like infants almost.
Right. They're parts of him, but they're not. He doesn't have full control over them. They kind of because they're independent spirits, they kind of owe allegiance to him as a creator god, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And he can occasionally commune with them, but they don't have to do what he says.
Yeah, it's like a filial thing.
Yeah, that's the downside of how whatever technology this is works. You know, perhaps these people, they died off because they either found a way to put their souls and all of the hesitation and inhibition that comes with that into a machine body, or created machine spirits and they were superior forms of life. But I don't really buy that. I think they die in some other way that we never really find out about. But probably the king had something to do with. And it's implied.
Maybe it was related to the cataclysm.
Maybe the king, like, yeah.
Yeah, so a key, like, you guys have driven cars before, right? You guys know what a car is?
I've partaken.
Yeah, okay.
Once or twice.
In the devil's handshake.
So.
Only for recreational purposes.
To
test their potency.
Yeah, so a car or like a truck is probably a manual drive. Actually, most modern trucks are automatic. It's interesting. But the key, right? The key, you put it in different stages of ignition. Like when you turn on your car, you put the key in, you click it on, it goes to like the one position, and that's just electrics. And then you go to the second position, which is supposed to be the car's turned on all the way, but you have to put it to the third position to start it, right? So what are the positions for these trucks? Like, is there an off?
Important? No, I don't think you can turn it off without killing it, which the machine won't let you do. They theoretically could be turned off. I don't know if they run on fuel. I think they run on their own will.
I don't think that's really what he's talking about.
I don't know, just a thought.
I mean, one could be like on the ground, and two could be in air, and three could be like you're really cutting loose.
I mean, like if you got behind the seat of this truck, that makes sense. Where you could you different levels of the engine. You could be like, you do one ignition to put it in drive, and you put there's another ignition to put it in fly. That's cool. But can you just wrench the key back and against its will turn it off and kill it from the driver's seat? Why not?
Maybe only if you took it by surprise.
What if the psychic bond compels you not to do it? You could, in theory, overcome that compulsion, right, but it would be very difficult.
You are more suggestible when you're driving one of them.
Because your consciousness is sort of melding, you're working together.
A highly suggestive state. You're not brainwashed, but you're more aware of things, and you're more amenable to things.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm on board with Truck King Jellian.
Truck King Jellian.
What?
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
You aren't allowed to say Evangelion without, in this episode, saying Truckadia. I'm sorry. You said it first. It's your fault. Silence.
Crickets. We've said before that we should probably not name these things on air. because
we're not naming it on air. We're banting. We're doing banter.
Okay, because I was giving a serious suggestion.
Well, you can't suggest a name and then say, "Oh, we probably shouldn't name these things on air." You know?
No, we shouldn't do that. But also, Truck
Vangelion.
Truck Vangelion. I knew that. Yeah. Okay. I'm into it.
Well,
I'm into it.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was a good time. It was a trucking good time.
Are we done?
Is there anything? So, is there anything you can like? Because we're obviously we're going to revisit this. First of all.
Yeah, I hope we do. Yeah, this is a good one.
Is there anything you think of we haven't? Because if I'm imagining like what you would do, like where you take your players, it seems.
Well, the incentive to go up there is to explore sky fortresses for weird technology that we don't know what it is, right?
The other hook that I'm getting from something you said before, Chessman, is there are enslaved humans that are being ruled over by their truck masters. Oh, yeah. And there are potentially feral trucks out there which terrorize local communities and raving gangs of truck bandits.
Depending on the tech level of the world below, which might be pretty low if the trucks have to establish a psychic link to get people to understand how to use them.
I like to think it is pretty low. I'm picturing something like there might be like smithing and stuff, but
Bronze
I'm thinking
Age,
it's more like bronze than iron. Yeah, like hide armor and stuff like that. Like it's a little more barbaric.
It's like Conan-esque, but with these trucks.
Yeah, but because of the presence of these trucks, like some parts of the world have sort of elevated slowly into this sort of like a rural community.
I like that.
There's still this sort of like Conan areas, like where, or like a Mad Max-esque areas where there's like no civilization. Things are made out of scrap metal, just harvested from dead trucks, and but then there's like slightly more civilized areas, and maybe those areas either have a better military to defend themselves from the trucks, or
there's no military that can defend you.
Well,
unless you have ancient technology can shoot down one of them, which would be like really tough to do. But if one of these trucks developed their own intelligence, they could just menace castles by plowing through them.
Unless
they could literally subjugate. Oh, go on.
Unless they have truckers, and the truckers are defending them from the trucks.
Well, like Seven
Knights
Samurai,
and chrome steel,
But
I don't know how trucks fight, because obviously we need trucks to fight.
They ram, fam. They don't even, because they're like transport vehicles pretty much, but they're armored beyond a capacity that the world below can deal with.
Well, and if it's a fight on truck that's being driven, then I imagine that there are you are carrying dudes, and you want to get those dudes onto the other truck, and then they'll kill the driver.
Right. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty, because these trucks are bigger than trucks as we conceptualize them, because they have to transport crew as well as cargo.
Oh yeah. You like the weapons that you could probably have. You could probably have like essentially a ram. You have like a knife or something, or like a spike.
It's interesting. It really, I really I'm scratching my head about the setting, because it's really neat, and there's so much to kind of like play around with and explore in it.
Well, just give one then.
Okay.
Just pick the first thing.
Where did humans originate? Did they originate in the sky or on the ground?
I think on the ground.
I was thinking in the sky, and the people on the ground might have been exiles or religious zealots of some kind.
You know what I think?
Left and lost touch with their history.
You know what I think?
What?
I think we're out of time, guys.
Are you fucking...
What? Chessman killing the vibe.
Thanks for listening, everybody. This is... I thought you were going to cut in, because you usually cut in when I try to
I usually do, but I was going to let you have this one. I was going to let you have it.
Thanks for listening, guys. This is... I was about to say the name, but we're not... It's just called
30 Minute Worlds.
This is called Trucking
Follow
Galleon.
us.
This has been 30 Minute Worlds.
We're not doing the title in the podcast anymore.
This has been Truckin' Galleon.
This has been 30-Minute Worlds. I'm Dan, here with Zach and Walt. We hope you had a great time.
Follow us on Twitter at LoreLads. Take it easy, guys.